day, I was playing rock, paper, scissors with myself in the mirror. Until the mirror won. Y'all really making me hate mirrors. My sister always kept slamming my door at night and telling me, let's play a game. Until I told her to stop doing that. But she told me she was at a sleepover with her best friend for a month. I was going out of my room and suddenly saw something near the stairs. I looked at it and saw that it was me. There are no mirrors around the stairs. I finally have enough food to last the whole winter. But now I miss my family. Just smile and wave, everyone. No. My daughter won't stop crying and screaming in the middle of the night. I visit her grave and ask her to stop, but it doesn't help.
Facts that you didn't know about 9/11 Part 2. After the first plane hit the North Tower, people in the South Tower wanted to leave, but were advised by an announcement to stay at their seats. Some tried to leave anyway, but were turned back by security at the exits. More than 600 people ended up dying when the tower went down. Afghan resistance leader Ahmad Shah Massoud warned about a major terrorist attack that was about to happen on US soil. He ended up being assassinated just 2 days before 9/11. Many 9/11 rescue dogs started becoming depressed because they weren't finding any live bodies. Rescue workers had to constantly bury themselves to trick the dogs into thinking they actually saved somebody. Tanya Head was a well-known 9/11 survivor who faked being in the South Tower during the attacks. She served as president of the WTC Survivors Network for years before people found out that she wasn't even in the country on 9/11.
This is 1 Minute Murder. Catherine Knight was the first Australian woman to be sentenced to life imprisonment without parole. Catherine's father was a violent alcoholic who would rape her mother up to 10 times a day. He also claimed she was sexually abused by other family members until she was 11. Catherine acquired her dream job when she was 16, the local slaughterhouse. She was quickly promoted to boning and given her own set of butcher knives. She hung these butcher knives directly over her bed so they would always be handy if she needed them. On the wedding night with her first husband, she tried to strangle him because he only had intercourse with her 3 times and then fell asleep. His marriage ended after she burned his clothing, stabbed him, and killed his dog. Catherine moved into the house of John Price in 1995. When John refused to marry Catherine, she filmed all the equipment John had stolen and sent it to his boss. The items were expired medical equipment he had taken out of the garbage. On February 29th, John told his coworkers if he didn't come into work the next day, it would be because Catherine Knight killed him. At 6 a.m. on March 1st, the very next day, police found the body of John alongside Catherine, who was in a comatose from taking too many pills. Catherine had stabbed him at least 37 times, then skinned him and hung it on a meat hook in their living room. She decapitated him and cut off parts of his body. She cooked him in a pot and served a slush with baked vegetables and gravy. She set up 2 places at the table with his children's name on them. She was serving John's meat to his own children.
For drinks with a friend and I lost my phone. When I called, someone answered, gave a low raspy giggle and hung up. When I went back home, I found my phone on the nightstand, right where I left it. Fuck no. I went to tuck my daughter when she said, Mommy, the man who lives in my cupboard says you have to leave. Okay, I'm going. I woke up to hear something break in my room. As I opened my eyes, I felt someone move on my bed. I live alone. No. There's nothing like the laughter of a baby, unless it's 1 a.m. and you're home alone.
2012, Skylar Neese had snuck out of her house at 12:30 a.m. to hang out with her 2 best friends, Sheila and Rachel. She would never return home and also was a no-show for her work shift the next day. Her family began to worry, so they called authorities and their family and friends. Rachel had just left for church camp, but Sheila was home, so she came over with her mom to help with the search efforts. The 2 would admit that Skylar had snuck out to hang with them the previous night, but they said this was at 11 p.m. and she was returned home by midnight. This ended up being completely false, so here's what happened. There was a secluded wooded area that they went to often, and once they got there, they got out of the car because they were going to smoke some weed, and they attacked her. They stabbed her over 50 times, dragged her by a tree, and watched her bleed out slowly. Her last words were, why? Their why was because they didn't want to be friends with her anymore, and that's all they would.
I'm Cam, and this 14-year-old TikToker stabbed her sister to death. On February 22nd, 2021, Claire Miller was at her home in Manheim Township, Pennsylvania. On that night, she stabbed her 19-year-old sister, Helen Miller. Claire was an avid user of TikTok, so once people figured out she killed her sister, her page blew up with millions of views. Her page has since been deleted though, so all others are fakes. Police received a phone call from Claire and she told them that she had stabbed Helen. Claire told the operator she was having suicidal and homicidal thoughts. Police arrived after 1 a.m. and found Helen Miller dead with a large knife in her neck. Helen was only 19 and wheelchair-bound due to her cerebral palsy. She had been stabbed several times. Claire and Helen's parents were asleep at the time of the murder. Claire Miller is being charged as an adult for the murder and is currently being held without bond. Her preliminary hearing is tomorrow at 1:30 p.m., Friday, February 26th.
Oh no! Oh my god! Oh god. Oh no. Most evil woman of all time. Her name is Megan Huntsman, and what she did is absolutely horrific. Back in 2014, her husband Darren had just returned home from prison. He was cleaning out their garage when he made the most gruesome discovery. He found the decaying remains of 7 newborn babies. These occurred between 1996 and 2006. During questioning, she admitted to the murders, also stating that she was addicted to meth and alcohol, stating she didn't want another mouth to feed. The husband claimed he was so messed up on drugs he didn't know what was going on. In 2015, she was sentenced to 30 years to life. Not even close to a worthy punishment for such horrific crime.
Extremely disturbing case. So in August 2005, China Arnold of Ohio was having an argument over Paris's paternity with the dad. After they fought, she stuck her 28-day-old baby inside of this microwave for over 2 minutes with it running. She ended up dying when her temperature reached 108. The next day, the parents took her to the hospital, and China tried to say that she was intoxicated, so she doesn't know how the child died. But that was bullshit. While she was in jail awaiting trial, she ended up having a romantic relationship with her cellmate, and she confessed to her how guilty she felt over the murder. So that lady ended up testifying against her, which caused China to get life in prison. It's honestly so messed up. China tried to get her other son to lie and say that the neighbor killed her baby, but that was proved to be BS, and now she'll rot in
Facts. Part 99. A few days before he was assassinated, President Lincoln told several people about a dream he had. In the dream, Lincoln saw a soldier standing beside a casket, and he could also hear people weeping. Still dreaming, Lincoln asked the soldier, "Who's dead in the White House?" The soldier turned to him slowly and replied, "The president." In the late 1980s, a woman went on a vacation getaway where singles could meet other singles. She quickly thought she had met the man of her dreams and decided to sleep with him that night. When she woke up in the hotel room the next morning, the man was gone and there was a small wooden coffin on the table next to her. Inside was a note that read, "You are now HIV positive. Welcome to the world of AIDS."
Sister said mommy killed her. Mommy says I don't have a sister. Fuck. I sat on my couch watching the news. They said they have caught the killer. Funny, I'm sitting right here. I cried when my mom chopped onions. He was a good dog. Fuck. I went to sleep and heard my mother say, "Good night." But my mother died 5 years ago. When people call our name, why do we always look back? Why don't we look up? Oh, fuck no! I woke up to my cat licking my hand. The only problem was I had left my cat outside for the night.
Facts. Part 76. In 1976, 7 armed men broke into Bob Marley's home and attempted to assassinate him. Bob was shot in the chest and the arm but survived. His wife Rita was shot in the head but also survived thanks to her thick dreadlocks slowing down the bullet. Marley's manager claimed that the CIA was behind the assassination attempt. In 1894, a priest in Germany saved a little boy from drowning. That little boy was Adolf Hitler. In many of his later portraits, Napoleon Bonaparte can be seen with his hand over his stomach. This is because he suffered from severe abdominal pain due to what we can identify today as stomach cancer. It is believed that he died from the cancer at the age of 51.